I've created a secret brand new KDP account. Here's exactly how much I made. What's up guys, welcome back to another video. If you're new to the channel, my name is Sean and I built a multiple six-figure KDP business which I eventually sold for $820,000, and now I'm building a second KDP account. So in this channel we do things a little different than other publishing channels. I regularly share with you my own results and what I do to generate these kind of results with full transparency. As you can see, I have a whole playlist on KDP income reports that you guys can go check it out and see exactly how much I made from my first account, which I sold for $820,000 here on Empire Flippers. You can see all the videos on this playlist. So if you want no BS publishing advice that actually works from someone who is actually doing it, then make sure to subscribe. Alright, so in this video, I'm going to be doing an income report for my second brand new KDP account that I created a couple months ago. And if you're wondering why I make these kind of videos, it's not to brag, it's not to show off, it's to show transparency and being honest, because that's exactly what's lacking in the YouTube space, especially in publishing. There are so many publishing channels that will tell you what to do or tell you what doesn't work, but they never actually share you their own personal results. And the reason why I make these kind of videos is to show you that what I do works, okay? It's because I've actually tested it and I know that it works because it worked for me. So I'm a huge believer in only taking advice from someone who has the results that I want, as well as I find these kind of videos very motivating, especially when I first got started. I really enjoyed watching this and that's why I wanted to make it. And I just want to say that I highly encourage all publishing channels to be more transparent and to share their income regularly. Because if they never share their income, how do you know that they know what they're talking about? Because I have actual experience in trusting a fake guru, paying them $25,000 to coach me and literally losing that money because I trusted what they were saying because they were coming across as someone who knows about the topic, but they never shared their actual results. And that is exactly why I think everybody should be way more transparent. So if you have a publishing channel, I highly encourage this space to be more open about these things. I think anyone who says they don't want to share their income for whatever reason is just making excuses. I think people who say that they don't want to share their income because of this or it's tacky or whatever reason just don't make any money. So on that note, I do have a channel that I want to give a shout out. We don't personally talk to each other. We just probably communicate a couple times in our comment section. But I do respect this person a lot in this channel. So I highly recommend you guys to check her out. The channel name is Rags to Niches. And the reason why I respect her a lot is not only that she has a lot of good videos, she regularly shows her income and she's fully transparent. And she has a ton of success with low content publishing. So if you're in the low content publishing space, definitely check her out. All right, enough talking. Let's get right into the results. So just a quick note before I show you the income is I started this in January with some lead generation books. If you're in my course, you know what lead gen books are. But I never had a high content book until February. So that's when I first published my high content book. And I spend around 0 to 30 minutes a day max on my KDP business because I outsource most of the steps. Most of my attention right now is focused on making content for my course, updating it, as well as some content on YouTube. But 90% of my time is really allocated to making my course better. So for the month of June, I had 24 books published. And the breakdown of those books were I had 2 audio focused books, which was not on ACX in June. So these books were really made just for Audible and it was not even on ACX. I had 3 coloring books. One was just launched. 2 were out for probably a month or 2. I had 3 word search books, 3 lead gen books. Again, if you're in my course, you know what that is. 8 Spanish books. This was just published, but it's basically translating my medium and high content books, which were about 8 of them. And 5 high content book and 2 were still in the process of launching. So the total of how much I made is $22 from audio focused books, which makes sense because honestly, it's for Audible and it's not really even on ACX. So the fact that I still made 10 bucks per book, doing nothing, no promotion, anything, just sitting there, I think it's decent. 3 coloring books, total I made $108. This is something that I'm testing out. I made the coloring books by outsourcing the illustration, so it did cost some money. And I'm also running ads, so we'll see how profitable this will be in the future. 3 word search books. This is something that I made using a software. and also running very low bid, very, very conservative ads, and it made $55. I think I need to make way more puzzle books like this in order to start seeing significant income. I think with low content, volume is very, very important. Two, you can't really just publish a couple books and expect to make a ton of money. The 3 lead gen books, obviously this purpose of these books are to generate leads and email subscribers for my email list. And the fact that I'm still making $300 for these, basically $100 per month per book, is pretty damn good, I would say. For the 8 Spanish books, in total, I made $175. I do run a little bit of ads, but nothing crazy. And they were just published again, so it will take time for them to pick up, especially because it's much harder to gather reviews. The only way to really gather reviews is to wait until the organic reviews come in, which can be months and months and months from now. So it's something that you really wait months and then you start seeing it pick up. But the overall translation cost was only about $1,100, I believe. So I made back 10% so far in first 2 weeks, and then from here we'll see how much it'll pick up. And finally, we have 5 high content book. 2 were in launch, so essentially it's from the 3 books, but we made $2,387. All right, so this is my KDP dashboard just to show you that I'm not lying. So I made $3,067 in June. And if you look at the lifetime earning for this account, again, I started in, I guess December, January-ish, had 1 book or so, published my first high content book. And then from there, it's very, very steady. And June was last month right here. And then we have July. So let me show you July right now, which is right here. So you can see July. Right now, we're at 2/3 of the month and we're at 2,500. So with this pace, we should be around $3,800 or so from KDP, and then ACX just started, so I think we'll be closer to $4,000 or a little over that for July at this rate. So pretty steady growth so far, but let me talk about expenses as well as some takeaways. So a couple things to notice: if you exclude the 2 high content in launch, the 3 high content book pretty much did over 2K, so most of the income. So there's always that 80-20 rule happening. And I much rather make a lot from few books rather than a little bit from a lot of books with low content. And the reason why is because it's way less headache, way less managing, and much more time that will open up for you. However, low content is great as well if you don't have a ton of money to get started. So I do think it's a balance of both, and it does cater to both people. Now let's talk about ad costs. So the ad cost might surprise you, but it is pretty high. So if you look at it, it is $2,000 and the ACoS is 62% or 63% almost. And let me explain why. So I run heavy launch ads and I take a loss in the beginning because I'm running ads at 99 cents and the book, is live, don't have a ton of reviews. And the purpose of you doing this is you gather as much sales and reviews as possible in the beginning. This is what all advanced publishers do. They're not trying to profit from day one. They're going to boost the book ranking up and also gather reviews in the process. And eventually, a couple months later, that book is established in the ranking, and then you can start optimizing for profitability. So that is exactly what we're doing. Because we had a ton of books launching in the process, the ad cost was very high as well as the ACoS, because if you're running books at 99 cents, then it's very hard to have really good ACoS. So that's what's happening here. But because of this, the cool thing is around 3 of my books already have 100 reviews. So that is really, really good. And from here, selling it will be much easier because of all the reviews. Now, we will optimize the ads once book is ranked, and our profit margin decreased because we were doing a ton of launches and we're running a lot of ads. And high content books typically have higher ACoS from what I see compared to low content books. So first off, the plan to scale from here is publish more books on ACX, because most of my books are not on Audible. And second is start on Ingram Spark, because I also don't have that started yet. Next is to optimize ads, obviously keep building the brand and keep building the email list. My email list is around 1,500 or 2K right now, building very quickly. So that is a really, really good sign. So 99% of my time, again, is dedicated to building my program. So we'll see how much I can build this KDP account while outsourcing almost all the work. But keep an eye out. And if you want to follow me along in building this second KDP account, then make sure to subscribe. So the takeaways and couple things that I want to mention is you don't have to go as hard as I'm doing with ads. I do this because I have the budget, first of all, and I want to build up my sales and reviews, and I want to go as quickly as possible. If you don't have a ton of budget, don't think that you have to spend a couple $1,000 just to make a couple thousand more. You can go much slower and you can be more efficient, but as you build up your income and as you can afford to invest more, this is typically what most of the advanced publishers do, is they take a loss in the beginning by running ads heavy, rank the book, gather reviews, and then they kind of taper off and optimize from there. And if you think about it, almost every business follows the same model. Okay, so if you're doing a restaurant, and let's say that, as an example, you're building up a bunch of restaurants, you're not going to just start a restaurant and then move on to the next restaurant. What you do is you start a restaurant, you offer your dishes for cheap, right? You try to get as many people as possible to the door by running ads and marketing. And then once people start coming in and you start acquiring the Google reviews, right? And also reviews on Yelp and, a bunch of reviews from all the sites, then you can slow down on marketing, maybe because there's more word of mouth and recurring traffic, and the reviews are really helping get more people in the door. Then you can maybe start a second restaurant chain. It's the same as Airbnb and pretty much every business model. You have to market your product and get reviews in the beginning so that organic traffic starts coming in. Because of that, then you can move on to the next book or next restaurant or whatever business you're in. The next takeaway is, in my opinion, high content yields far greater ROI with far less work compared to low content, and that is why I like high content. But again, I'm not trying to talk down low content. For some people, it can be really good. Last thing is, we're building a real business and it takes time. So you really got to be patient. This is not a get rich quick scheme, but we are building an actual business that's going to keep paying us for years and years and years if you do it right. So I hope you enjoyed the video. And before you go, I want to invite you to join my 100% free Facebook group mastermind. So the link is in the description, where you can join and network with other publishers as well as ask any questions. And you will also receive 2 bonuses just by joining. One is a case study on how to generate lasting income on Amazon KDP through what I coin as book stacking. So you will get a instant access to that case study, as well as the ability to attend a weekly Facebook Live that I do and ask me questions directly. So in my Facebook group, I go live every single week. You can hop on and you can ask me any questions while I'm live. So if you want to join the Facebook group, the link is in the description. And finally, if you want to learn more about my complete publishing program, then you can schedule a free strategy call with one of my team members. The link is in the description as well. If you enjoyed this video, let me know by leaving a like, subscribing if you haven't yet. And if you struggle with marketing your book and getting those initial sales and reviews, then make sure to watch this video because I show you exactly how I do it.